Treat today, 2013 Tesla Model S P85, the high performance one. So this is one of my guys that's getting ready to graduate here. I've had the pleasure of having him for his first class and his last class. So this is Eric, and he's going to tell you guys a little bit about it. And I'm anxious to enjoy this ride. All right, Eric.
So, you know, this is an older model. They're not as fast as the new ones. This car, the P85s, they come with 416 horsepower to the wheel. So they're not a slug, and they're actually pretty affordable. This car brand new is $94,000. We got it for $28,000, and I mean, it still drives like a brand new car. It's really smooth, very fun car to drive. Love it, and makes a wonderful daily driver, because I have a 2003 Grand Am, and I was getting not even 20 miles to the gallon getting up here. It's all stop and go, and this thing costs $4 to get home when I charge it. So it's very nice. Saves a lot of money. Driving. There's a 60. Couldn't get a whole lot of traction, but
the roads are a little bit wet today. So in case you couldn't tell from the video, that felt fantastic. Love it.
So another fun thing about this car is when you turn the traction control off. That, I believe, is in driving. So when you disable the traction control, they make it very clear to you that it can be dangerous. And the reason why, because of this. Yeah, so it gives you everything. It doesn't hold back when you turn traction control off. Some people think that, you know, you'll hear different things. They'll say, you know, oh, it still limits it. Obviously, I just showed that it gives you everything no matter what. So I always like to keep it on just to be safe.
Absolutely. Nice.
So, I mean, other than that, this thing cruises very nice. It handles corners really well.
Does it rides excellent.
Oh yeah, it's, you know, corners are real nice in this car.
It's firm.
Yeah, very firm.
So, here we go. 2013 Tesla Model S P85. Great car. I got some video underneath the car. Get to see how it's very well built suspension, air ride suspension. Good car, definitely. And comparing it to the Fisker, doesn't feel as heavy as a Fisker does, that's for sure. Does it as fast as the Fisker? Absolutely. Does it sound as cool as that Porsche GT3 that just passed us? No.
They have a bunch of stuff.
So based on what I observed on the shock absorbers when we were under it, we don't have any electronic control on the damping. We only have electronic control on the airbags and the ride height. Gotcha.
Yep, and the brand new ones you can control all of that. You know,
right.
You can
so
even
they've
play
got
with
some
the numbers on it.
So they've got some electronic damping.
Yeah.
I'd be anxious to see how they're doing it. I wonder if it's Magneride, the magnetorheological fluid, or not. But still, access to a lot of information, a lot of data. And let me guess, is that power usage there? Is that what we're looking at?
That's
there?
your average kilowatts you're using.
Nice.
It varies. With the warmer weather, I'll be using less than 300, but when it's colder, it uses a lot more.
Because it's running the heater like we've talked about.
Yep.
Awesome. And then once, of course, air conditioning, and if we turn on the heat, we're really tapping into some energy, right?
Yeah, it doesn't make a big difference.
Nice. That's torque.
Yeah. Yeah, even if you want to get out of a dig real quick, I mean, this thing, if you don't completely slam on it, you know, it'll get out of a dig pretty well. Still looks dirt though in the wet. Well, I mean, you can. The cornering is nice in this thing, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Ow.
Excellent. Well, thanks a lot for the ride, Eric. And that was really, really a treat.
Yeah, I'm glad to show people how the electric cars are. A lot of people are curious, and I like to show it off. You know, it's not a lot of people understand them. They're kind of scared of them, but.
So here we've got the Tesla front suspension, which is kind of unique. And you see these two lower links with two ball joints. This is what makes it a virtual axis suspension, which I was pretty impressed to see this. The other thing that blew me away was I looked at the size of these inner and outer tie rods. They're massive. It looks like they could be on a truck. And I've definitely observed that Tesla has done some serious heavy-duty stuff on these cars. They definitely did not skimp on materials and weight. They weren't worried about weight. They were worried about durability, which is pretty impressive to me. So we get an air ride, and this is our air coilover shock absorber. Well, air over shock absorber rather. Got a ride height sensor here. Pretty cool. And you know, with a heavy, high performance car, we definitely got some big brakes. So even though we've got regenerative braking, we're going to remember regenerative braking is only taking place on our rear wheels, so we definitely still have to balance our braking out, or we could send the car into a wicked slide. Going to the rear suspension, we've got an electric park and brake, okay? Again, Bilstein's. Air shock, okay, air ride. And then when we get the wheels back on, we're doing a tire rotation now. We're gonna take a look at putting this vehicle into service mode before we lift the vehicle. Another ride height sensor in the rear. I'm gonna go back to the front suspension for a couple minutes, but one of the things I wanna point out is we have a toe adjustment in the rear up here. Not going to be real easy to get to, but we've got an access plate down below here. We're going to have to take this plate off. We're going to adjust rear toe, reach up through, and we've got an eccentric. All right? So that's nice, very nice. Got a multi-link suspension. Really heavy-duty suspension. Again, just car's built pretty beastie. Gotta say, I'm pretty impressed. This is my first time underneath one of these things. We've got this link here, which I would like to read up a little bit more on this, because with this dog bone link here, this car could potentially have some dynamic tracking taking place. So that's something I'm gonna have to read up on. I'm only speculating right now. But again, you know, I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed with the build of this car. You know, mechanically, I really like the car mechanically. You know, we got a nice smooth undercarriage, and it's a nice, sturdy build for sure. All right. So anyway, like I said, toe adjustment, ride height sensors, okay. And good quality parts. Bilstein shocks, Brembo brakes. Go back up front here. We'll show everybody the front alignment adjustments. So anyway, this is what we would call an advanced SLA. So it's a short long arm suspension, just a little advanced version of it. So we can see this knuckle, okay? And then this will basically be our long arms. But again, what we got here is what's called a virtual axis. Okay, we have two lower ball joints because as this car steers, it travels on an arc as it steers to reduce, scrub radius. It's an active scrub radius. All right. Here we've got on this rear lateral link, we've got an eccentric adjuster there. Okay. Look here to our front lateral link, got an eccentric adjuster there. So that allows us to adjust caster and camber. just like we would in the old days with a short long arm suspension. So pretty cool stuff. No active roll stabilization. It's got a basic stabilizer bar and links, but hardly necessary when we got an air ride suspension. So we're back in the 2013 Tesla P85, and the next thing I wanted to go over was Eric here is going to show us how we go into service mode and put the vehicle in lift mode. Because it's got air ride suspension with the ride height sensing, we wouldn't want to lift the car up with the air ride, because what's going to happen is when the wheels come off the ground, the system is going to try to dump all the air pressure down because it senses that the car is too high. So then when we would go to set the car back down again, the shocks would be deflated and it would risk pinching the airbags when we set it down. So we're going to show you guys how we disable and re-enable the lift function on the 2013 Tesla Model S.
Alright, so pretty much to lift it, you're going to want to, so they have a service mode in here. You can do a bunch of stuff. You can service the wipers. It puts the wipers halfway up. You can put it in tow mode if you need to tow it, and then jack mode. So pretty much the car needs to be on. So you turn it on, pressing the brake pedal, and you put it in jack mode. Basically, it'll disable it. So it's a suspension leveling disabled right on the middle console. And then you can also adjust the suspension to wherever you need it on the lift because of the air ride. So I have it on high right now, and you can change it. You can put it up very high or very low, but it'll do that before you put it in jack mode.
Excellent. Fantastic. And then once we're done, is there any special procedure just to turn it back on, or do we just go back to standard mode?
Yep, you just press jack mode and it's off.
Fantastic. All right, excellent. Thanks, Eric. That's great.